Afternoon guys, Chris from the Pro Shop here. Finally managed to get on the range in amongst the showers. It's actually quite a clear afternoon now, which is really good. But what I wanted to show you was the new Rogue driver from Callaway Golf. We've had this a little while, a week or so, and we haven't had a chance to be able to get out here and actually show you what it's all about. So to be able to hit some shots, give you some feedback, is what we want to do. We have three versions here. I've got three in my hand. I've got the Max LS, we have the Rogue Max D, and we have the Rogue Max. Okay, and I'll try and talk to you about a little bit about what each driver should do as I'm hitting them. However, to give you an overview of what the technology is, oh, and there is one more I almost forgot. It's the Rogue Triple Diamond. Okay, and that's basically aimed at people sort of like in the sort of the capacity of like John Rahm, swing speed of 120 miles an hour, and who wants to hit a fade. So it really is tour specific. However, it is available for the public, and I should say that as well. Right, back to the drivers, back to the technology. So they've got a tungsten weight port on the back of them. Hopefully if I can come in and show you that. You can see that it's like a gold looking part to the club there. We've got carbon fibre in the head. We've got a speed frame in the face. Okay, we have got jailbreak technology, and the idea being it creates a stiffer club face, which means hopefully that the energy won't disperse and it helps make the ball go further. And then what we've also got is AI technology, which is behind the face, and what it basically does is it analyses where people most likely hit the ball, and it tries to put a little bit more weight in those areas, which makes the driver more and more forgiving. So anyway, that's enough of that. What I've done here, I've put my shaft into the Max LS. I'm going to hit a few shots with this and then hopefully give you a bit of feedback as I'm hitting it. So put them down for a sec. Okay, so when I stand over the top of the ball, I quite like it because it looks quite sharp. I can see a nice line on the face. It's a bit of a different sort of finish on this. It's a matte finish, which I'm used to with my Epic, it being obviously a gloss and a shiny finish. Okay, let's get a feel for it and see what it sounds like. Quite excited. Felt hot off the face, I would say. Felt quite lively, which is a good start for me. A bit different to my version, I would say. I'd say that's a little bit toey. Let's hit a couple more sort of thing. I do like the look of it from above the ball, which is good. Got a little chevron in the middle there, it helps to line up, keep the ball in the club face. There we go. More. Don't want to hit too many shots, don't want this video to be too long, and ultimately what I want you guys to try it, okay, because that's the most important thing. This is the version that potentially people would say is suited towards me. LS means low spin. You're going to need quite a high club head speed to be able to sort of get this driver airborne. Yeah, and the problem with low spinning drivers is if you miss the centre of the club head, the ball will generally fall out the air like a stone. So I'm quite excited, I'm not going to lie, quite excited to see what the numbers are. So I'm looking forward to actually getting the flight scope working and spending a bit of time out here. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to try and move on and show you some of the other drivers. Right guys, I've switched the shaft over now. So I've gone from the Max LS, I'm now going to the Max. There is a little bit of difference. I'm going to try and come in here if I can and show you from the sole, because I think that's where you're going to see the most amount of difference. Slightly different shape to the head. Okay, so the idea being perimeter weighting, maximum forgiveness on this one. Okay, so if you look at, we'll try and look at it from a couple of angles if we can. Good. And then top line, this one's obviously got a bit wet out here. Okay, but let's just go and try it. That's the best way to do it. Pop that down. Into the Max. So first impressions are going to be, obviously when I put the club on the back of the ball, see what it looks like. And it does look different, okay? So the way I'm going to explain this is, it looks a bit of a straighter line, and it looks like a straighter face on the LS, so it looks as if it hasn't got as much loft. Potentially, would I say that's probably a little less friendly to some players, because they're going to think they're going to almost perhaps try and want to help the ball up in the air. So yeah, it looks very forgiving in its setup. Looks a little bit more rounded to me. in the head, looks quite nice. Okay, let's see if the sound's pretty similar. There's nothing wrong with the strike, so that's good. Felt nice off the club head, which was good. A couple more. I quite like the colour scheme, I must admit, as well. Obviously it goes throughout the range. But I like the gold. As I say, I do quite like the matte finish as well. It's a little bit, dare I say, it's probably a bit like a pink driver that I've had in the past. I think it looks a little bit like that to me, the finish, which I like, so that's a plus for me. It does look a little bit different to my gloss and my Epic. Very neutral ball flight, which is good. One more, final one. Oh, one good swing on it. Nice sound. Drifting a little bit right. No, nice sound, nice look, nice feel. Pretty forgiving, to be honest with you, because I think the first one was a bit high on the club head. So it'll be interesting when we get on the machine to see whether that does have any drop off or not. But felt really forgiving, felt strong. Again, can't wait to get it in some of your hands and actually see what numbers it can generate in comparison to your driver. We're going to move now on to the last driver, which will be the draw. So let me just come in and set finally on to the Max D driver. Okay, so you can see a difference if I try to show you the three here. Is if you look in this region of the club head here, on the previous two models, you've got Max and Max LS. You can see actually that looks a little bit different on the LS than it does the Max. However, on the Max D, we have this weight here, and the idea being of that weight is that as you hit the shots, you're going to find is that the toe will pass past, and it will help to close the club face, which will give you a bit of a draw. The idea being, and the beauty of it is, however, when you set it up behind the back of the ball, it shouldn't look like the club head's aiming miles left either. So it's going to be interesting to see how it sits. Just for your reference point, I have got it just set in a neutral setting, but I have actually got my shaft in it again to try and give it some sort of fair comparison. So what I'm actually looking for in an ideal world is that for this ball I want to see it moving right to left on me. Okay, because generally speaking I hit a pretty neutral flight. I'm not going to try and draw it. I just want to just actually see what happens. Whether it does. Okay, again, so to give you a bit of an idea, looking down at the back of the ball. Again, it's a little bit like the Max version, I would say, not the LS. I can see a little bit more of the club face. This is 10.5 degrees of loss, so you potentially would expect to see a bit of club face. But it is more of a dare I say, a sort of a pear sort of shape, or a bit more rounded, I should say. And I can't see more of the face. Let's hit it, see if it sounds the same. Got a little bit more weight on it, see what happens. Felt great. Okay, first one pretty straight, if I'm being honest. Again, this is what it's all about. Let's see if the next one of these, see if any of this moves right to left as it should do. Yeah, okay. So that one has moved right to left, and it didn't actually feel the drops on the inside or anything like that. Okay, which is good. What we want it to do. Okay, so the idea being is for those who do have that slice, this is going to have a massive effect if it, again, I think one shot has done it. If we hit a few shots and we get a bit more sort of knowledge from this, if it does what it says it's going to straighten out those ball flights for you. Again, that one's moved right to left, which is what we're after. So yeah, no, sounded lovely. I wouldn't say that I hit them 3 particularly sparkling shots there. I think there's a little bit all over the face. I think we got some good carry on it, definitely. But it will be interesting to see actually how it plays out on the golf course. But no, they are three of the drivers. As I say, there is a fourth one, but that is the triple diamond, and it's aimed at really sort of high swing speeds. People generally, you know, as I say, like Ram, who want to move it left to right and hit a bit of a fade. So that's the Rogue ST. Pop in store and find out more.